ibex What's Next podcast.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nicole Conley. I am Regional Engagement Manager for ibex US. My co-host is Miss.
Hi guys, this is Jasmine. I am in Beckley. I am the receptionist slash POC for the Beckley site. And we are also here with
Hey guys, I am Preeti Raina. I am the Vice President of Operations for the US region. Glad to be here.
Welcome. We're really excited. This is our first podcast, so we're excited and eager to jump in. Thank you, Preeti, for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk ibex culture.
yes.
We're going to talk ibex culture and BPO culture in general. This is something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, especially those of us at ibex. So it's a very easy topic for us to discuss. What do you think, Jazz?
I think it's super important. I've been here at ibex 6 years, and that's one of the main things that keeps me coming back is the culture and the inclusivity and that family like environment. You don't get that at most jobs. So
No, you don't.
that's what I feel like takes ibex apart from most companies. We have that for sure.
What do you think makes us special about our culture here at ibex, Preeti?
What makes us really special is it feels like a tight-knit family. We all care about each other. We all work with each other. We all work so hard for each other to make each other look really good. I think that's so special about ibex. We are so passionate about collective success. While all of us are strong individual leaders, I think what makes us really awesome, like we say ibex awesome, is the strong sense of feeling, the strong sense of belonging, the strong sense of marching towards that collective success. That's what makes us awesome. That's what drives our culture.
I totally agree. One of my favorite things about working here is that I've never ever felt like just a number. I've never felt like just a person who does a job. I felt like an equal part as much as anybody else, and that everything that I do is valued. And I see that across the board for all the people at ibex, no matter what their title is, no matter what they do, everything works together in one cohesive unit and makes us super duper special.
I agree.
I completely agree. I mean, when at most jobs, you don't get that family environment, and we have that here to the point where I know that I could go to any of my superiors about something, not even work related, that I may be going through, and they'll, actually care and genuinely listen, and you don't find that everywhere for sure.
I've worked in other BPO organizations before, and I can say that the culture here is significantly different than anywhere I've worked before. Not just because of the family environment and, the whole organization just feeling close, but they do truly care about what you think as individuals. They listen. You know what I mean? That's so important when it comes to culture, is listening to, taking the feedback from the people who actually do the jobs, and making sure everybody feels a part of decision making, and that nobody feels like they're doing things in a bubble and all alone out there in the world. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
completely agree with that as well. Yes.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, I've seen in the last year I've been here at ibex is communication. Communication is so strong. Everybody feels so connected. Nobody ever feels in a bubble. That's the best thing. When I interview people and I talk to them, I said, listen, the best thing you would find at ibex is the culture of communication. Communication flows top down, communication flows bottom up. And we have our CEO and our COO so engaged and communicating at all the levels. It always feels that you are in the know, so you're never caught by surprise. And that's the best feeling ever, when you always know what's happening and you know where you're progressing and where you're going. So I agree with you, Nicole.
Yeah, and just to even piggyback off what Preeti was saying, like you said, you have to have that good balance of, knowing that, the place that you work at is you're more than just another number, you're more than just a coworker. I always feel like kind of coworkers is maybe an understatement, because I've gotten a lot of lifelong friends here, and I feel like they're a little more than just coworkers. And that's, to me, is just vital to make an ibex stand apart from other companies. I feel like that's just above all what I love about ibex.
Another thing that I absolutely love about ibex is the inclusivity. How inclusive, no matter, we have sites all over the world in different countries, different cultures, but somehow, some way, everybody feels included in all the things that we do. And that's just so important.
It is.
Yes. I mean, I even had the pleasure of being able to go and work at another ibex in Jamaica, actually, for 2 weeks, and even going completely somewhere different at a whole nother ibex where they didn't know me and I didn't know them. I felt that same level of inclusivity where, wasn't made to feel like, I didn't belong, or I didn't feel, like I didn't belong. It felt just like, another part of my extended ibex family. And it was amazing. So I agree with the inclusivity. And like you said, we have ibexes everywhere and people of all different backgrounds. And I just think it makes people a little bit more open-minded to and more accepting of all those different cultures and backgrounds that they normally wouldn't be exposed to.
For sure. I think because of the culture differences, there's a gold mine of prospect between interacting with someone that you may or may not have ever interacted before, a visual and understanding of what their culture is like, what their community is like, which helps you be more enriched in what you do, not just at work, but on a personal level as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, celebrating diversity is one of my favorite things that we do here.
Yes, I love the diversity here. I always feel like this job has, I guess not want to say exposed, but has brought me around more people that I probably normally wouldn't be around. And I think it's just made me better as a person because I can just understand people a lot more that I'm not, like I said, like I wouldn't normally be exposed to. So I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. And it's when we had the Culture and Diversity Month, right? It was so amazing to see people across different landscapes, across different geos participate. And you learn so much more. You just learn so much more beyond your own culture. And the fact that IBEX takes so much care in celebrating diversity, in celebrating inclusion, it just feels that, you learn so much more in the process. And working with people across different geos, you learn about their food, you learn about their culture, you learn about, as an example, Philippines already started celebrating Christmas the moment September started, right? So here in the US, we are sitting and we are cheering with them because it does feel like holidays are just around the corner. So it's just amazing how everybody feels included and special.
Absolutely. I'm a Christmas person by heart anyways. So when I actually got to interact with Troy and Gwenny they were talking about how they were going home to deal with Christmas, I was like, you get to have Christmas from September to the new year. Is this real life? It's like my Disneyland. One thing I definitely think, since we're talking about inclusivity and culture, I think is important to talk about women of IBEX, since we're all here and we're obviously all women, how empowered women are at IBEX. It's so important because we have our own, Women of IBEX initiative. We have women like you, Preeti, a vice president that we can, look up to and know that that's potential for other females in the organization to get to.
One of the things that really attracted me when I made a decision to join IBEX was the strong culture and the push in how the whole organization was supporting women of IBEX, right? And I myself am a part of the Women of the IBEX team. It's just amazing to see how the whole company comes together to celebrate women of IBEX, to support women of IBEX, and to grow women of IBEX, right? The events that women of IBEX host every quarter, it is just amazing to see how the whole company comes in, listens, contributes, participates, motivates. An example is the Purple Day, right? Everybody across the organization was wearing purple, right? We bled purple. That is just amazing to see that the women of IBEX is not just a entity standing by itself. Rather, it's supported by strong men and women leaders that together want to make everybody successful and see everybody successful. So it's really motivating for sure. It is.
Yes, it was one of the favorite. I mean, I keep saying that word because everything is my favorite, clearly. But reality check is that you don't, again, I've come from BPO, I've worked at other companies, and I have never seen how important it is for not just women, but obviously women, because I am a woman and I have, worked my way through to see that there is a place for us here. We have a voice. It's not just a slogan that you put on the internet that makes you feel like, okay, we've checked a box, right? We've checked the box that we have to say the right things about being inclusive or being geared towards, empowerment for women. There's a whole initiative. There's merch even. We even have swag to support this. So it's a real life thing, living and breathing in the organization. And I'm so grateful for it because it just inspires me as a female so much.
It is. And I think I want to give kudos to all the male men leader in our organization. When I enter a room, I have an equal seat on the table. I have a voice. I have a voice of reason, and I'm equally heard. And that doesn't happen by yourself. It is such a collaborative effort in our leaders. And look at it. We have so many leaders in the executive roles here at ibex. We celebrate them every day. In fact, we celebrate all the leaders every single day and everybody that works with us. And that's what really makes us awesome.
Yeah. Have you, because I know you've had a lot of experience, Pretty. You've worked a lot of different places in this industry. What has your previous experience been like in these categories and other, you don't have to name names, obviously, but just kind of generalize what has that been like for you?
I've had experience with BPO for 21 years and counting now. And every company I've worked with, I've been so fortunate to always have met very strong, dynamic leaders that always constantly lift each other up. I never started as a vice president. I started as an agent on the phones 21 years ago. And here I am now. And that has only happened due to the strong mentorship that has come along the way through leaders and through teammates, right? Since we are talking about all of this, one of the biggest initiatives for women of ibex that we are doing is mentorship, right? We are starting a program wherein leaders, men and women, are going to mentor other team members so we can bring everybody along the journey. I have been so fortunate in the last 21 years, always having worked with leaders that have always inspired me. I've inspired a lot of them, and there has been such a huge following. And due to that following, we just grow and thrive and rise as a company. Again, at ibex, similar experience where everybody comes together. Like I've said, it's my favorite word, a collective success, and raising each other and helping each other up all the time.
Yeah. We are pretty special around here, not going to lie. Jasmine, let's talk about your previous experiences before you came to ibex.
Okay, so I actually don't have as much BPO experience as you ladies, but just what I do have, ibex is completely different from my past experiences. I don't think I've worked anywhere where they had like a women of thing. So that was something that was pleasantly surprising to me that ibex does, the women of the company. I think a lot of times, I'm not saying that women get overlooked, but sometimes you may feel like you don't get listened to as much. I can say specifically for the Beckley site here, specifically, we have more female leaders here than anything. And that spoke volumes to me when I first started here. I knew I wanted to move up. Of course, I started on the phones as well, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But seeing all of the female trainers and supervisors and, admin in all different categories, these strong women of ibex, that motivated me personally. And that made me think, okay, they can do it. I can do it. And I got nothing but encouragement along the way and moved up pretty fast, surprisingly. I was at my last job for 5 years with no room for advancement. There wasn't really anything in particular that they did to make sure the women felt, just as inclusive and just as a part of the team as the men. So this was like a breath of fresh air for me. I mean, I haven't worked anywhere that's had this kind of culture. And like I said, I was just pleasantly surprised. So I love it. And it has motivated me. And I felt like it's played a huge part in me getting off the phones and moving not just from mentor to supervisor. Then I transitioned again to, what I'm doing now. So, and through all of those steps, I got nothing but encouragement, nothing but, that positive push that you need as a woman of today,
So let's talk about one of our favorite slogans, mottos. You'll hear David Aptal say it all the time. We work hard, we play hard, right? I personally love that sentiment, especially when it comes from a CEO, a COO, CPO, any C-staff person, because that lets you know that you have the freedom to do hard work, but you also have the freedom to balance that with whatever that looks like for you. But as a company, we have all these really cool ways that we try to initiate that balance within our organization. We have so many wonderful engagement activities and teams and initiatives, it's just so awesome that it just makes the days, because they're long sometimes, right? They're hard. The job can be tricky, it can be difficult, it can be tough. You can't take that away. No matter how much you love your job, sometimes the work of part of the job definitely gets to you. But when you have something to bring that balance back and to center you and to take your mind off it and to bring you closer together through those engagement activities, it really does help you be a better employee, a better person. So, Jasmine, talk about Beckley and engagement, because I know we got strong engagement there.
Yeah, so if everyone knows that Beckley is the definition of engagement when it comes to those things. I won't brag too much. I didn't pull the trophies behind me. I didn't want to, But when it comes to these site events, that is literally my favorite part of my job. I feel like I kind of fit the role perfectly. It's one of those things. And I always feel like anytime we have these site events, it comes at the most perfect time for the agents. We just recently had a tailgate not that long ago with COVID and everything. It had kind of put a damper on certain things that we could do. So we were able to do that not that long ago. And I don't know how many agents and employees came and said, you don't understand how much we needed this. We've missed these, and it just made the day so much better. Some days, like you said, even when you love your job, some days are just harder. And so it's great to have those events just to kind of break up that monotony and, realize, okay, this is not just a job. We're like we say a family here, and we like to have fun. We like to work hard, get the job done, but we have to reward ourselves. If not, what are we working for? We have to get that reward. And I think the side events and the things that we do and the prizes and everything that we do, that helps. And that also keeps agents motivated, keeps employees motivated, because you see the reward of your hard work. You see the tangible reward, something you can see, smell, touch, taste, and it just makes you want to keep up the good work. So I am a firm believer in that perfect balance between working and playing. Absolutely.
I know you got some thoughts on this, Preeti. That's one of the reasons why I wanted you to be on here, because from a VP perspective, you probably stand out the most that's really focused on this part of the culture here at ibex.
Absolutely. Here's what I tell my leaders every time. As stressful as our work gets, never forget, you can't let your work stress impact you mentally, because the moment it starts impacting you mentally, your personal life will get affected, because every great leader can't never quit thinking. There's never that turn off or switch button. We take that stress to home. So never have your professional or work stress impact you mentally, because that'll take you a few steps behind, because then you need to bring yourself back up. Things will pass, things shall pass, things always do. Chin up and have that can-do attitude. Our one failure doesn't determine your fate, but hey, listen, never give up, right? So that's my advice. You work really hard, but again, have fun, because you've deserved it, right? As a leader, the thing is, you always give feedback to your people, because if you don't give them feedback, nobody will. You are such a huge part of making them successful. Hey, but at the same time, when they do something awesome, go a long way to celebrate it and celebrate them and recognize them and make it known. When you do that, leaders take criticism and they take good feedback in the same spirit, right? Again, always remember, tomorrow is a new day. We make mistakes, just don't make them again, but do not take it too hard on yourselves. We can do it. We have done it. We do it every single day. Again, when I go back to the ibex philosophy, I have not come across a single leader in this company that doesn't have a can-do attitude. We all work together to move mountains, and that is the best part of being at ibex. My favorite engagement activities are, I am amazed. And Nicole, kudos to you, by the way. 95% of our workforce here in the US is remote. When I follow the Facebook pages for all our sites here in the US, I am just amazed, right? To see the kind of engagement and how engaged we keep our people, even when they're working at home. Isn't that amazing, right? People participate sitting in the comfort of their homes, yet it feels like together. When I look at Philippines and I look at Jamaica, oh my goodness, I wish I was in the Philippines. The way you guys do the site launches in Philippines, I'm like, wow, right? It's like a red carpet event. every time. And that's just amazing to see. Those are the things. When you look at our attrition is super low. Why? Because people still feel engaged and connected even while working at home. And that's one of the beauties is, how do you keep people engaged? Because we don't know when this pandemic is going to end. Our teams are doing such a fabulous job keeping everybody together and engaged virtually. Kudos to you. It's phenomenal to see that.
So it's fun. When we're talking about favorite engagement activities, it's almost like I'm like a mama bear. I'm like, how do I pick one of my favorite? But far and away, every time I'm going to say customer service week. And not just because it's getting ready to come up in October, but obviously, shameless plug, customer service week is getting ready to come in 2 weeks in October. But because it's a whole entire week, it's us as a globe, as a company. It's, I love that we do community-based engagement because that's important. Every community, every Beckley, every, Jamaica, every Philippine, they all have their things that sort of speak to them. But as a company, we all have inherently the same goals of trying to be participative, trying to build that inclusivity, that culture. So when we do these global engagement activities, it's just the most fun because watching people interact with each other that are miles and hundreds of miles and countries and continents away from each other, that is to me very touching and inspirational. So customer service week just brings it, we take it up to what I like to call next level engagement, in that we're going like hard in the paint with this stuff. Right? We're doing fun things, red carpet events, recognition. We're giving away things and really tailoring our engagement during that week to the pure celebration of our employees. And that is just, it's so moving to me. So one particular memory that I have of customer service, well, this will be a memory that I used to have. This is pre-COVID. So Bridget Hart and I used to, when we very first started customer service week, we really wanted to send like site directors in the US these boxes. So all they had to do was just get the content that they had and just plug it in. They didn't have to go to the store. They didn't have to think about it. A part of our gift to them was doing all the planning and getting all the execution parts. And all they had to do was plug and play, as Bridget likes to say. So we're packing these boxes, and I'm talking like boxes that are almost the size of a bathroom, full of things. Like I could have jumped inside of the box, right? Just look at all these boxes, and there's just the two of us plugging these boxes in. We had stuff everywhere. I just think when I think of customer service week, that just makes me laugh because I had a senior director in a room with me, locked away for an entire week, plugging these boxes in for our employees. And it just touched my heart so much. It was so much fun. I'm not going to lie. I missed the interaction, the people interaction, but I have been very pleased with the challenge, not necessarily COVID challenge, but the challenge in navigating COVID, in that we have to make more meaningful connections through our engagement and not just rely on that easy fix of that personal interaction. So we're getting into more thought process and how does this make someone feel and how can we connect with them even though we're not right there with them. And that's super inspirational to me. What about you, Jazzy?
So my favorite engagement, I love customer service week as well, especially red carpet day. I go all out. But my actual favorite engagement activity probably is when we do, and we haven't done these in a while, it's the music videos that we do. Those are always, they're just so fun. The energy in here when we do the videos, it's like, you can feel it. You can feel it in the air. Everyone's super excited. Everyone's dancing. And even the people that would be like normally camera shy, or it's just kind of contagious to where, even every single person feels included when we do those. We a lot of times go and ask a lot of the employees, what kind of themes would you like to see? How can we, make this theme into something fun and cute for a video? And so it's literally like a whole team effort when we do those music videos. It takes like everyone, like it doesn't matter if you're on the phones or if you're supervisors, like everyone's input is included in the music videos. They're just so fun. I love doing them and I love seeing them when they're finished, and you can just see how much fun everyone has and how engaged they are. And then you see people, say like, oh my gosh, your job, you guys get to make music videos. And even doing things like that and putting it out in the community, lets people know the type of environment we have here, and that it's not just all work. We play as hard as we work. We have fun. We reward ourselves. So to me, the music videos are my absolute favorite thing to do because it's just super fun. I love it.
Miss that. I miss those too, especially the one, the Christmas ones.
Yes.
Those okay.
I miss the Christmas, even and I want to congratulate you and Bridget as well. I saw some of that, when you guys do those boxes and you guys kill yourselves to do that. One of the Christmas parties that we had was like the flannel and frost one. That was probably the best one we had. I don't know how many times I got compliments on because you guys literally gave us everything we needed. We didn't have to do anything but, like you say, a plug and play type of thing. And I got so many compliments and I almost felt guilty taking, your kudos because it was all you and Bridget,
I'm here for you.
So, yes, you guys do amazing. So kudos to you and Bridget. You guys definitely keep this side of it running. We would be lost without y'all.
Well, you guys make it easy because you're so awesome to work with. So, okay, so we're wrapping up here. So what we want to leave people with is this. We're family. We are inclusive. We always celebrate diversity. We work really hard, but we play hard too. So we check all the boxes here at ibex. So don't forget to check us out at www.ibex.co. Follow us on all the socials. We'll all be there. Thank you, Preeti. I appreciate so much you making some time for us this week. I have loved getting to spend some time with you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kazi, for being my first co-host.
You are very welcome.
Before we go, Preeti, do you have any parting words? Anything you want to leave us with?
Well, thank you for having me. All I can say is continue to be awesome because we are ibex awesome.
What about you, Jazzy? Any parting words?
I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of this. I was super excited to be a part of this. I'm excited to see what we're going to do in the future to keep the culture going. Let's keep it going, ladies. Let's do this.
We're going to. I'm excited too. It's our first podcast. We'll see how this goes. We have been so happy to have you guys listen in on the very first. Don't forget to check us out at www.ibex.co. Make sure to go follow us on social media. We're happy to have you guys listen in on the very first What's Next podcast. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
ibex What's Next podcast.